Hi everyone. It's Wednesday, so you know what that means. It's time for the breakdown. I'm your host, Catherine, aka thank you. Catherine, aka the High Heeled Gamer, and today we're gonna break down. Uh,
I just knocked stuff
uh,
over. Hold on, I'm sorry.
I don't know
What?
what we're breaking down today.
Well, we're having some technical difficulties.
We aren't because we discovered that there's more than
Ah.
one Eastern Standard Time in the
W-
world.
Well,
So I'm surprised. You learn
I
something new every
honestly,
day.
I am not the best about paying attention to people's
Oh, I don't
uh,
pay attention to anything. You
countries.
should know
You know what I
that.
mean? When we're booking, I saw a guest, but I lost the guest.
You
Yeah.
know I don't pay attention to anything. Um,
Hmm.
so today's show is
Oh, we
brought
had
to
someone, then we
you
lost them.
in part by the letter K for Catherine. Shut up.
Come on, that was funny. Come
It
on,
was not. It would have been funny
you
if it would have
laughed a
been your
little.
name.
You laughed a little. You. Come on, give me the credit where the credit's due.
No. Um,
Oh, do we have a guest?
do we have a guest? I hope
Uh,
so.
yes, but it looks like. Oh,
I've
mm.
hurt my wrist, so I'm trying to.
Hello.
Hello.
Awesome.
How are
Do
you
to do.
doing?
Nobody needs to see me.
So I guess we're breaking down Queen Bee, which I'm excited about. How are you doing today?
Can you hear us?
Oh, can you hear it? We can't hear
How
you.
about now?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
There
there
we
you
are.
go. Yay.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Nicole Kane. I pronounced all your names right, didn't I?
Yeah. It's pretty easy, so it's not too bad.
Sometimes I mess up even the easy stuff.
It's true. She does.
It's one of my many talents, messing up simple things. So today we're going to talk about your comic Queen Bee, which ended its Kickstarter. Or is it still going?
It's starting. It just started it.
Oh, it just started. Okay.
Yep.
29
So
So
days to go.
on Tuesday.
okay. So tell us a little bit about Queen Bee.
Okay, so Queen Bee basically started with this really random idea. So when I kind of write comics, usually they come from like either research or something else, or like I'll kind of go off on a tangent somewhere or find what I really like writing about. This one was completely random. So we were sitting on the couch one day, and my partner was watching bee videos, and it was like, okay, well, this is weird and interesting. And then I kind of kept watching with her, like I was watching over her shoulder from where my desk is, and I was like, okay, I really like this idea. So I kind of just looked at it for 2 seconds and then went, bee, hive. What can I do with this? What simulates a beehive? And then I just clicked and I was like, oh my God, why don't I put it in like that royal setting? And then I thought, okay, what have I been dying to write? And then I kind of went through my archives, and then within about like half an hour, I just started writing, and it just started pouring out of me. Like the whole 7 issues just went bang.
Wow.
So yeah, it was a really cool idea. Basically, it is about the 4 girls. So you've got Marie, Ariel, Sophia, and Tiana. They are in a time where the queen is dying. And in a normal beehive, when the queen dies, the beekeeper usually replaces her. They'll put in a new one. And when they put in a new one, it has to sit for 7 days because
Oh.
the other bees have to get used to it. So I
Uh,
thought, oh my God, what if you had to do this with humans, basically? And you have to replace the actual human. So yeah, that's where the idea came from. So they're stuck in the point where they've got this tremendous task that only happens once every, 100 years or something. That this queen is dying, and a new one has to be replaced. So yeah, it's it basically starts off really nice and fluffy, and then everything just goes wrong so quickly.
That's interesting. Did you end up having to research even more about bees, or you just took everything that you saw from the documentary your partner was watching?
Oh no. I went into a hell of a lot of research. Like I looked up everything I possibly could. And then because it's half sort of that French Rococo sort of period, I had to research all of that as well. So it was like days and days and days of getting it right. But when I do start a story, I've got like the skeleton of it. So I usually put out
Okay.
like plot points of where things are supposed to go. And when that happens, I basically can then add or subtract whatever needs to be happening in the story.
Got
So
you.
yeah,
Do you do like a storyboard, like a skeleton storyboard where you have certain
yeah.
like post-it notes and ideas in it? Because you're not the artist, correct? You're just the
No, I'm
author.
not. No, I'm only the writer. I wish I had understood skills.
You and me both. You and me both. So do you like do the best of your abilities, like what the idea is, just to have it like as a placeholder, or you just go for the words and then just collaborate with an artist?
Oh no, I basically try and get as close to I need the script to look like first,
Okay.
and then I'll do a script, and then I will do probably about 4 or 5 rewrites of that script
Oh,
before it
wow.
gets anywhere close to where I like it.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a lot of work. If a story comes out quickly, usually it's because I've either done the research or it just flows really nicely
Hmm.
and things just happen. Sometimes when I'm writing, it has to be a little bit more research. So, if it's a crime book or something like that where I have to know exactly what a killer does or something like that, you'll have to research that and then spend days and days trying to get that right scene. But this one actually came together quite quickly, which was really really good. Um, Started with the skeleton, then I did a couple of the issues, and then went back, rewrote them, put in the dialogue, and was like, okay, yep, this is actually sitting quite well. So
Okay.
yeah, this was a good one. This was a good one. Some of them I sit there for months on, and I'm like, oh god, this is not sitting the way I see it.
Do you put like a pin in it and like come back, or you just like, you know what, when I'm ready, I'm ready?
Yeah, I have like a huge folder of literally just stuff that I've either broken down or done a skeleton for, but either haven't had the time, have been working on other things, or it just doesn't feel right at that moment. So I'll just put a pin in
Mhm.
it, leave it, come back to it later, which I've done several times. And I think the next series that I'm doing as well is one of those ones. I put a pin in it a couple of years ago,
Oh,
loved the
wow.
idea, didn't have an artist that fit the style, found my artist that fit the style, and went, okay, I'm going to start writing this again.
Okay. The artist for this, did you know the artist, or was it somebody that you just put the advertisement for and they answered and you liked their style?
I actually went looking for Luigi. So basically, I'd been watching his work for a while. And then when I saw that he'd actually been doing comics, so he did a comic called Rags, which was super popular. When I saw that he could actually do the sequentials and everything, I went, okay, this is the person that I want to be working. So yeah, I went and actually sought him out, asked him if he would be happy to do the gig. He said absolutely, and yeah, it just came from there. So sometimes I do put out an ad if I'm looking for an artist, or sometimes I'll really find one that I absolutely love, and I'm like, I have to work with you. So
Okay.
yeah,
Has there ever been a time that you've seen an artist's work and then the story comes to you?
yeah, that's definitely what happened with my friend Chris. So Chris and I just finished doing a book called Hell Courtesan. It's fantastic. We absolutely love doing it together. But when I saw his work, he does that sort of Japanese style so well. And I just went, I have to write something that's going to be tailored to what you're good at. And that's where we
Mm,
came up with it. And I was just
okay.
like, this is the bomb. He absolutely nailed the artwork, nailed it to a
Wow.
point. So I was like, fantastic. This is amazing. yeah, it just came together so goddamn well. So, and the next one that he needs to do is mermaids, because he just draws mermaids left, right, and center. So
Oh,
I'm like,
really?
right, you need to be doing something with mermaids.
I you said mermaids, and I was like, oh, I love mermaids. I actually
Yeah,
want one
yeah.
of the tails. Have you seen like the real life tails that they have for people? And I'm like,
The
I want
swimming ones?
one,
Yeah.
but I
It,
can't spend $400 on, and I don't even live
exactly.
close to the water, so my husband
Exactly.
he'll be
When I
yeah.
was
Dude,
when I was
how much was that
budgeting, I was
tail?
really tempted to, but now I'm just like, no, that's
The tail is for it runs about $400 because it's tailored to fit your waist and your
No,
legs together.
no,
So it's made custom for the
yeah.
person. So yeah, that's why it's like so expensive.
that's awesome.
It's insane. So Queen Bee was not your first comic, correct?
No, I've got a few comics out already. Couple of series. I've got a funny one called Fox and Hound, which is super popular as well. Very much your typical sort of mercenary gung ho, everything goes wrong sort of comic.
Mhm.
Absolutely love writing it. The girls are probably one of my favorite things to write. I've got the Hell Courtesan, and then there's a couple of sort of little ones in between. We've also got the series called Resurgence, which is a sci-fi military cross.
Oh,
So totally different from what I usually do, but enjoy writing that as well. That's really fun. Um, yeah, so there's quite a few books that I've got at the moment out. But Queen Bee is definitely one of my favorite ones to be doing at the moment. Definitely one of my favorite ones.
this is your style of writing as far as genre, like the historical part of it?
Usually, I typically love horror, but
Uh,
horror is super hard to find the right person to draw it and the right crowd to read it.
uh,
That's the problem. Um, I love doing it. I find it really interesting, and when people do a horror comic and they do it well, it just grabs my attention completely. But yeah, like I said, it's quite a hard sort of pocket to fill.
mhm.
So I do look into the other ones that I enjoy writing. So I do love historical stuff. Hell Courtesan was historical as well, so I really love going into the research and looking back into the history books and trying to find something that people haven't necessarily done as well. And the Rococo style is something that people haven't really touched on in comics. So that's why I thought, okay, this is a really interesting idea, interesting aesthetics, interesting environment. It's ticking all my boxes, you
Yeah.
know. So
So you said so are you like a big Stephen King fan, or do you like Wes Craven? Like who are you like drawing aside from yourself, obviously, because I'm sure you have like a great imagination like I do. But do you draw inspiration from any of those?
yeah, look, I love Stephen King. I've been reading Stephen King since I was a teenager. So Stephen King is amazing. The fact that they're doing all of his movies, all of his books into movies and TV shows is just making me even happier. I do love my Clive Barker. He's mad, and the way he writes is just
Yep.
incredible.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, just
Hey. Yeah. For real. For real. Could I just say that name again?
um,
He's the man.
who else do I love? Anything historical as well. You know, you can't pass up the original Dracula. I think I've read that at least a dozen times. It's just an incredible book. Um, but yeah, I kind of just randomly find something that will ping in my head. My partner listens to a lot of podcasts, the murder
Oh,
podcasts and things like that. She likes watching all the murder documentaries, so I kind of watch those and go, "Oh, that's an interesting idea," and then it'll just get slotted into somewhere. Um, but with comics and horror, it's harder than it is writing a novel. If you're writing a novel, you have so much room to play with, and the
mhm.
story can sort of almost stagnate for a little bit. But in comics, you have to be a bit more fast paced when you're doing a horror. And you've got to use the visual cues, the environment. You can hide things in the environment. You can
True.
put little hints and drops. If people really pay attention to the panels, they'll see the cue for the next part, and they'll
Yeah,
reread it and go, "Oh my god, I didn't see that. That was there the whole time." When they get that twist and that
yeah,
spoil at the end.
that's
So
true. And
yeah, it's a whole different thing when you're doing it, and like I said, it's really difficult to find people who do write good horror. One of them is a book called Black Murder Mondays. 100% my favorite, best example of a horror
I'm gonna
book.
have to look that up.
It's
So it's
fantastic.
so weird. Like, I love horror books, I love horror games. I cannot watch a horror movie. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's because it's like super realistic, and like, you see the people that I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah, yeah, I love
Those are
my horror
interesting
games.
covers.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a big gamer, and anytime I can get my hands on a horror game, I will play it.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm the
constantly
same
there for
way.
that.
I have like a lot of horror games. I just finished Outlast with my daughter, and we're posting that for October, and I was so upset with the ending. But yeah, it's just the weirdest thing. I love Stephen King. I can read the books. His son Joe Hill, and horror video games. I cannot do a horror movie. Like, I just can't. I just cannot. Have you ever tried just doing like a novel, or is it just that you 100% prefer doing comic books?
I started with novels, so
Okay.
when I was younger, really young now, when I was in my teenage years, I wrote my first novel. It's not great. I go back every couple of years and reread it, and I'm like, oh God, what did I write? What did I do? Then I started a few more of them, just random things. I think I got like 20 or 30 pages in. And then I dropped it. Basically, I just didn't have the time to be writing these things. When I moved into cosplaying took up my entire life. It was, yeah, it was pretty much 24/7. There goes my bank account. I don't have time to do anything else.
Yeah.
Um, so basically, I gave that up. Once the cosplaying stopped, it was really weird. We kind of just hit this wall, me and my partner, and we didn't really know what to do with ourselves. So one night she was looking up characters to cosplay for fun, and she
Um,
went, "Okay, I found this character. Her name's Batwoman. She's red, black, and a lesbian." And I was just like, "I'm in. Do you want to
no.
tell me more about this now?"
Yeah.
You just have me hooked. Literally the next day we went to the comic book store. We bought every comic book we could find with her in it.
On Batwoman.
Like,
Yeah.
and then we just started spending money on anything that looked good to us. Because we didn't know anything about comics. We weren't in it. We didn't
Oh.
know anything. So we just started buying DC stuff like crazy.
Uh-huh. So how long ago was that?
About 6 years ago now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So we're quite new to it. So after reading Batwoman, the writer Greg Rucka was the main writer, and we started finding all of his work because we absolutely love Greg Rucka, like to the point where like I think he's stalked by us a little bit. We absolutely love him. He's a great guy. We've met him several times.
Oh, that's exciting.
Love him to death. Love him to death. So basically, when we found his work, in one of the back of the issues, there was a little part of the script. It's like a little, we show you how we do this sort of thing.
Uh-huh.
And I read it, and my partner goes, "You can do that. That's not hard. Why don't you start trying that?" And I literally did. I started taking some of the short stories that I had written in my youth and turning them into scripts and
Wow.
trying to put that, this is where the panel goes, this is where the dialogue goes, this is how it's spaced out. Took me a couple of years to actually get to the point where I've got a good script base now. But yeah, that's where it all started. I just started writing it.
I
And
hope you're
it's
spoiling your partner, because she's giving you inspiration through all the documentaries that she watches. She told you that you can do the comic book. Like, I hope you're spoiling her.
Oh, she's got horses. She's fine. She's absolutely fine. Yeah, she's got several horses that she takes care of, and that's her day. So
Oh,
she's super happy doing that. And then I sit here and write. So it's kind of a good mix there.
that's
Um,
pretty cool that she's, looking out for you. So like motivating you in a way and inspiring you. I like when people have partners or in a relationship where they uplift each other, because
Support.
yeah, the support is there, because that's a lot to
That's the
do.
word you're looking for.
uh, that's a lot to do with how you feel, the motivation, the inspiration, whether it comes from them or not. Having the positive support does help. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's some days you get in an absolute rut and you're like, I can't do this. I want to quit. I'm done. I've had enough. And just having somebody in your corner to go, it's okay. You've had a bad day. I'm gonna crack out, a tub of ice cream and put on your favorite movie or put on your favorite game, and you can just bash the crap out of something for a couple of hours,
Yeah.
and then we'll get back to that. So yeah,
Oh,
it's really good. It makes me feel good when all of my friends sort of jump in, and either they're seeing that I've got a new book and they're like, oh, I've got this brilliant idea, or do you think it would be, good for your stuff? And I'm like, yes, actually I do. I'm going to steal that. So people are constantly helping me, and with the Kickstarters as well, I've got a butt ton of packing to do at the moment, because you got to ship out like 300 books at a time with each Kickstarter. So it's nice that my friends are like, okay, buy us pizza and we'll come over and we'll help you pack for the day. And it's like,
aw,
yay, pizza party,
yeah,
everybody's
that's
happy.
awesome.
Yeah, so
That is
it's
so
really
great.
nice. It's really nice. Like I said, she's got horses, so she's mostly out there, but when she's at home, it's quite nice that we can sort of collaborate on things like that. And she asks me, what are you doing? What are you writing? Blah blah blah
Aw,
blah. I had this idea, so yeah, it's really nice.
that's awesome. Did you both cosplay, or was it just you, just her?
Oh no, we both did. We were like nationally ranked cosplayers.
Oh, wow. You were
Yeah,
the fancy kind.
it was intense. It was like spend $10,000 on a
Yeah.
set kind of intense.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah.
I'm a closet cosplayer because sewing is not a skill I can claim. And I let people know, I'm like, I appreciate the art. I love it. I'm a closet cosplayer, so I do the best that I can. But I've always like, I I know how much I spend just buying this stuff.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
I know to triple, quadruple all of that when you guys are actually making it, because it's
Yep.
fabric. God forbid you make a mistake, lace. It's all of that. Um, May I ask why did you stop cosplaying?
Basically, we have this competition. It's a worldwide competition. It's called WCS. So
Yeah,
it's World Cosplay Summit. Very,
yeah.
very popular competition. Really difficult to sort of enter and things like that. It's got a lot of rules that you have to adhere to. It has to be only Japanese. Um, you have to do like a 3-minute skit. You have to
Yeah.
build props. You have to build a stage setting,
Mhm.
and then you have to perform. Before that, you also have to submit a portfolio as to your progress, why you want to
Oh
enter,
my
and what you
gosh.
can bring as your country representative. It's a lot of work.
I
It's like a
didn't
year's worth of
I
work.
knew about the prompts and the skit. I did not
Yeah,
know about the back and the portfolio and like all.
same.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
insane. That's intense.
it was a lot of work. So we entered the first year with some friends at the time. Um, when it first started, you had to do like a prequel round. So you had to not only do your, if you got into the finals, you not only had to do your finals outfit, but you had to do your kind of like, are you allowed to get in prelim
Oh
outfit?
my gosh.
Yeah, so we did that. We got in. Um, then we basically spent the rest of the year building the final outfit. Um, Absolutely fantastic. We did really, really well for our first time. Um, we did Dynasty Warriors. it was insane. Like we let off cannons on the stage and stuff like that.
Oh
We
my
did
God, I
full
would love to see that.
choreography. It was amazing. It was amazing. Unfortunately, we were just pipped by our friends or ex-friends that year. They got to go to Japan, and we went, okay, we're going to do the next year. The next year we entered, we did Subasa. Again, really big set, mad costumes, full design, everything. Because the person who was running it basically was a bit underhanded, and he went, okay, there are only 3 people entering. I'm going to tell my really good friends who I want to go to Japan with to enter and then give it to them. So he did that. They entered last minute. Yeah, they entered last minute. They got in. They went to Japan. Third year, we went, this has got to be our year. The 2 big top dogs have done it. They're in it. They've won. This has got to be our year. So we went gung ho on the last year. We pulled out the biggest set we could possibly make, which was Le Chevalier Down. Massive set, huge costumes, to the point where I actually built a gigantic staircase with a mirror where you actually had a trap door that I actually fell into. Yeah, it was like a full-on magic show. It was amazing. Unfortunately, we got pipped again by people who, they did a great job. I'm not gonna lie, they did a great job, but they had absolutely no cosplay experience. They had been cosplaying for 3 months. We'd been cosplaying for 10 years at that point.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they only spent like a couple of $100 on their outfits, and I lost it. I literally, when I saw the results, I can still remember myself just absolutely breaking down behind stage, just losing it.
my gosh.
And at that point, I knew it wasn't us. It was just pure out bias nature of the competition. And after doing all of that, I decided that was it. I was going to quit. I had had enough. I couldn't take the pressure of doing these competitions anymore.
Yeah.
It was sad because I feel like I've lost quite a bit of that over the years. But at the same time, if you don't close that door, this comic one wouldn't have opened.
True.
Because closing that door, I basically turned around and we found the comics. We found Batwoman, who I then cosplayed later. Yeah, my outfit is phenomenal. I love her so much. She's
Oh
sitting
my
up
God, I
on
would love to see that.
She's amazing. It's on my Facebook if you want to go there. But
Okay.
yeah, I absolutely loved her. My Batman, who is unfortunately deceased at the moment, he built me the outfit before he died. So it does mean a lot to me. It's really, really special. Everything around Batwoman is very, very special, to the point where I've actually got it tattooed.
Oh, wow. Yes.
He means a lot to me. He really, really means a lot to me. But yeah, so if I hadn't closed that door, the new one wouldn't have opened. Cosplaying DC afterwards, just for fun, with my Batman before he died, I found Nicholas Scott. And Nicholas Scott's actually done an alternative cover for Queen Bee, which is very dear to my heart. Very dear to my. I actually have the pencils and the ink line art hanging up on my wall. I absolutely love it. But finding her and really sort of meeting other artists and things like that, like Tom Taylor. I'm just naming the ones in Australia that we've basically met. But we've got I've met people like Matthew Clark and Tom Croker and Dan Mora, and these amazing people who have been working in the industry for not only years, but have an absolute talent. And it just gives me something to look up to and really work towards, to be at that level. But Nicola's always kicking my butt to tell me to do more. Are you writing? Are you writing? Are you doing something? Yes, I am. But she's a huge inspiration, and if I hadn't stopped cosplaying, I would have never have met her. Would have never have met these amazing people, and I absolutely love them to death and wouldn't trade them for any costume in the world.
That's awesome. I like that you're able to take the bad and see that it led to this wonderful adventure of comic books for you. I mean, it sucks
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah,
is
that's
that
right.
you?
So that's my partner. She dressed as Maggie Sawyer. So
Oh my God, is that you?
yeah, that's me. That's me.
Oh my
That's my
God.
Batman.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That,
So
oh my God.
I love that
That's
outfit.
dope.
I
That's
love that
dope.
outfit. It's near and dear to my heart. I absolutely love it. The mask is 100% my favorite thing. Whenever I put it on, you just get this feeling of yes, I am a superhero.
Is the
Unfortunately,
hair attached to the mask or is it
no,
separate?
no, it's a separate wig, so I can take it all off.
Okay.
Unfortunately, though, when I do wear it for conventions, I cannot wear the contacts. The first time I wore the contacts that basically make your eyes go completely white,
Uh-huh.
um, I did a photo shoot, and it was I can't even remember what the wind speeds were. They were just ridiculous. And then basically the people I was working with, yeah, see, there's my actual eyes. The people I
Oh,
was doing the photo shoot with basically went, maybe you should stand up on that giant, thing that's like 5 meters above the ground and take a photo. It'll be amazing. So the photos did come out amazing. My cape's like going everywhere, but I am completely blind in those photos. Like I cannot see anything in front of me. And I was just like, nope, nope, can't do that ever again. Sorry.
I've heard people say that when it's the contact lens that makes your eyes either all white, all black, or all red, you can't see,
Nope.
and it becomes difficult. So a lot of the times they take the picture and then Photoshop the
Yeah, that's
eyes.
what I've had to do. I'm trying to find something that I can like maybe like a little piece of glass that I can put in there or something in future years. But at the moment, it's not a priority. I can just Photoshop it in.
No, it
But
still looks good though,
I'm getting
girl.
your
yeah, yeah,
picture.
the blinding factor is a problem though. So, but yeah, it's hard now to cosplay though because when I do conventions, I usually do a stall. So I'm usually having to be behind the table, selling the comics, working, talking to
Mhm.
people, So first year I did do it in cosplay, and it didn't go down very well. So I've learned my lesson now, and I'm like, you know what? You have to be professional. You have to, you know, show people that you're absolutely in it. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with that, but. I think I've made my peace with it. My partner still cosplays. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one where I'm on the
Oh
building and
my
I'm completely blind.
God.
I had like 5 people beneath me,
Oh my God.
being a
That came out
star.
like I'm sorry you couldn't see, but that came out amazing.
Yeah, I have like people
Wow.
below me trying to be spotters just in case I fall.
Aw.
And I was just like, please don't drop me, please don't drop me, please don't drop me.
That's cool.
That's my Joker. Yeah, he's wonderful. I have this whole little Gotham group that we cosplay with
Oh,
whenever
that's
we get together.
exciting. It's always fun when you
I
have a group.
absolutely love them to death. I love the guys so much. They still come to the conventions. They still cosplay. The last convention they all did together was actually Archer. They did a full Archer group. It was fantastic. So,
Awesome.
but yeah, I do miss it. Like I'm sitting there going, oh, I want to be in there. I want to do it. But I have to think of the long term, and I'm like, okay, your future is comics. You want to do this until you're older. You know, you
But
gotta make that sacrifice.
I've
But
got a
Yeah.
photo shoots
question
are always
though.
optional. Photo shoots are great.
If you did do Archer, which character would you be from Archer?
Pam,
I was going to
I'm
say, please say
Pam,
Pam. Please say Pam.
Pam is
Pam
the
is my,
Pam,
shit.
Pam is the best. Let me just
yeah,
express.
I like that answer.
Yeah, Pam is fantastic.
she's
Um,
she's definitely my favorite.
yeah, 100%. I mean, it's hard for her not to be people's
Yeah.
favorite. Have you ever thought about doing, or have you done conventions here in the States?
I wanted to until COVID hit, and then I was just like, well,
Good
that's at
old
that point.
COVID. Yeah, good old
Yeah,
COVID, my BFF.
COVID. Um,
Can I just express to you how much I hate because
yeah,
it's canceled everything in my
it
life. I know
really
nothing.
has. Yeah, it canceled pretty much everything. I was tossing up whether to do C2E2, Emerald City, or possibly one in what's the one in Portland, Rose City, I think it's called Rose
Mm.
something, Rose something.
Okay.
but I was really looking into that because most people have steered me away from doing the Comic Cons in San Diego and New York. They're like, they're just too big.
They
You're
are.
not gonna you're
They
not gonna
are.
get what you need and what you want out of it.
No,
So
especially if the location, um, like what they consider top billing and A-listers get the prime location, and then other people, whether they have like the 10th comic or the first comic, get the really crappy location and there's barely any traffic. So
Yeah.
you end up going in the hole real bad with NC and San Diego Comic-Con.
yeah,
So
well, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, okay, at least I know generally what I'm going to be doing. So yeah, I had a friend of mine who went to C2E2 and she posted like the whole thing in photos and it looked like an absolute blast. She
yeah,
had so much fun. And I was like, okay, that's definitely one that I have to do when I
yeah.
have to go on. So yeah, eventually I will get to the States and it will be a sort of yearly thing that I'll be doing.
Oh, awesome.
That way I can sort of go to more conventions, not just the one every year. But Nicola does San Diego every year.
Oh,
She
wow.
didn't go this year, obviously, because of COVID.
Yeah.
But she's like, yeah, one year you have to come with us, and we'll just hang out and have fun. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
that's
And I mean, if nothing else, hand out your business card.
yeah, pretty much.
Hey, here.
But yeah, it's definitely one of my dreams to get to the States. The conventions in Australia are just nowhere near the standard of what they are in the States.
Oh, really?
Like, we are like a quarter of what you guys get.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's so small and it's hard to sort of get that international contact when you're here because a lot of publishers don't come out this way. Aspen did a few years ago, which was great. Loved talking to the crew of Aspen. They were just absolutely a pleasure to have out here. And I wish that more would come out here and do that because it's basically they're a huge fish in a tiny pond. So when they're over in the States and they're competing with all the other companies, it's like, oh my god, we've got like 20 different companies we can go and see. Whereas here, because there's no actual publishing companies, there's only like one. When a company does come out, everyone flocks there and they're like, oh my god, we've got to buy all this product, So yeah. Plus, a lot of people say that the Australian accent is very popular overseas as well. So I'm like, yes, I'll come for that.
I'm digging it.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for an accent.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now. I'm a sucker for a good suit and an accent.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to get out there. I've got to see some friends out there and stuff like that too. So if I do go out, it'll probably be like I'll be away for a month sort of thing.
Oh, so, nice.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Good.
It'll be fun.
Good.
So but once the COVID restriction fixes itself, then we'll see.
COVID.
Oh yeah. I don't think we're going to be flying anytime soon. But yeah, all the conventions this year got cancelled, which sucks. But it's been a good rest year. I got a lot more work done. I found a lot more artists.
Yeah.
Things have started to pick up.
Thank God for the internet, because if not, I'd go insane.
I know. If we didn't have the internet, I'd die. I'd literally die.
I would.
Yeah. Like 90% of what my business was. So yeah.
Well, we have come to the end of our wonderful discussion. I so thoroughly enjoyed talking. I know. I feel the same way. I should have recorded her voice and just have like an ASMR with her voice. We will put the link to your Kickstarter. You said it has 29 more days or 28 more days?
Yep. 29 more days.
29 more days. People get on it. Queen Bee is it. Do you have social media?
I do. I have Facebook and I have Instagram, so you can find me there. I do have Twitter, but I'm never on it. So if you want to catch me, it's more Instagram or Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got the Facebook link in the chat.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
And the link to the Kickstarter, of course.
Of course. And then the Instagram, is it your name or is it like a pseudonym?
At NS Kane.
NS Kane. I'm gonna follow
NS
you.
Kane.
It won't be Catherine who that you'll see following you. It'll be the high-heeled gamer.
That was creepy. I
It'll
was
be
just gonna
Catherine.
say it, Kat. That was creepy.
Well, I mean, it's amazing I held a civil conversation and didn't sound awkward earlier. That's all I do is I either sound creepy or awkward, and it's like, do you know how to talk? And I'm like, no, not to people.
In NS Kane, is there an underscore or anything?
Nope, just NS Kane Comics.
Sweet. I'm on my way after we get out of here. Well, Nicole, thank you so much for taking time from your, well, probably busy schedule because you're a writer and COVID happened, so you're not going too much. So writing is probably coming really great for you right about now because you don't have
I have something to do.
And that's right. And we're grateful for it. Go check out Nicole. Go follow her. Go support her Kickstarter. It is a great comic, wonderful art, wonderful writing. Do yourself a favor and go support Queen Bee. As always, like, share, subscribe. Go to issueswithshow.com.
Really? It's our website.
I've only done this like 100 times. Oh, issue with show. It just popped up. There it is. And as always, I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Bye, everyone. Go follow her.